Mariupol, the city that's facing maximum Russian bombardment. So far, no news channel, no media channel has been able to get into this port city. India Today's Geeta Mohan is in ground zero. She's entered Mariupol and she's giving us a sense of what's really happening in a city where the mayors confirm 90% of the buildings are down. There are about 170,000 people still stuck inside the city. Roads are completely inaccessible. Here's the first report Geeta filed from us from a bridge that leads to Mariupol that's been completely destroyed.
We are here on the way to Mariupol, a bridge that was blown apart by the Ukrainian side to ensure that the Russian side does not enter Mariupol. So a huge disastrous scene over here. We've seen many of these bridges that were blown up by the Ukrainian side to ensure that Russian advances are stopped. So another bridge over here. We're on our way to Mariupol, but this is what the scenes look like in terms of infrastructure that have been destroyed from the other side to ensure that Mariupol is not taken, a strategic city for both Ukraine and for Russia. With journalist Satya Rautre on the way to Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Shelling, mortar attacks on the way to Mariupol, trucks that have been burnt. There are charred bodies, graphic visuals, so viewers' discretion over here advised. But certainly a very, very sad scene. Nobody to really come and claim the body or even take the body. No postmortems because Mariupol is under siege. So a difficult time for people over here, even in the bordering areas. This is a sensitive area, so we'll have to move quickly from here, given that there have been shellings and sniper attacks even in this area. With video journalist Satya Rautre on the way to Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
And let's get you the next set of reports that Geeta Mohan filed for us. This is from the heart of Mariupol city. And she gives us a glimpse of the kind of damage and destruction that Russian shelling has wreaked in this city in the last many weeks. You've got fire stations completely charred, residential buildings destroyed and brought down to the ground. Here are those reports.
This is Mariupol, a city under siege, relentless firing, shelling and bombing. We can hear it through and through. Look at the state of affairs of the city. This is the fire station that has been destroyed in the shelling, in the bombing that took place over here. And the craters of the rocket attacks and missile attacks can be seen. That's the extent of damage. All the cars over here burnt. The buildings across, the windows absolutely shattered. Goes to show the kind and the extent of damage that the missile attacks and the rocket attacks have created over here. The magnitude speaks for itself with what you see behind me. Shattered glasses, broken buildings, destroyed cars. This is a city under siege. Russia wanted to claim the entire area, and it has done so. Now, Mariupol, most part of Mariupol is under Russian control, and to ensure it remains that way, that the firing that you hear is unending. People over here still are living, but only a few are left. Most of them have left the city or are trying to leave the city. There are humanitarian corridors on both sides, but that does not guarantee safety for the lives of people here in Mariupol. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Burnt buildings. Every time there is wind, you can hear pieces of glass that are stuck to windows falling down or about to fall. Shards of glasses in the streets and the lanes of neighborhoods after neighborhoods of Mariupol. That's how one will describe an absolutely destroyed city. Nothing less than what we witnessed in Aleppo of Syria. That's how Mariupol looks today, and maybe even worse when it comes to how will people regain their livelihood, go back to normalcy. But yet you'll still find people who are living over here in squalid conditions, but they're still here trying to make do with whatever they have, whatever little that they have. And despite the kind of hardship that the people are facing, they're hoping that maybe this nightmare will come to an end and they will be able to live peacefully. But do they have hopes of having the city that they lived, that they grew up in? Absolutely not. Most of them quite morose about the fact that they live in a place that will always be a hotspot, a zone for conflict or reasons for conflict between Ukraine and Russia. With duty journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Amid constant shelling, this is a city that is absolutely dead, destroyed, and the destruction that you see over here with the buildings and the missile attacks, the rocket attacks that this city of Mariupol has faced, no matter how strategic it is for Russia or for Ukraine, it is going to be very difficult to bring it back to its past glory. Mariupol was a very important city when it comes to being the land bridge between Crimea and Donetsk for Russia, and therefore a crucial city. But we've been told to be very careful. This is an absolutely burnt down building, but there are some other buildings that are still there, and there are fighters, gun battle that is underway in and around Mariupol. There are snipers as well, and this time around, it's sad that even press has not been spared. So the journalists over here also have to take extra precaution and be careful. The bombings continue, shellings continue, and a city that was once prosperous today is absolutely destroyed. Russia and Ukraine will have to do a lot more than just talks and negotiations. There's a lot of explaining as to why so many people have died when there could have been a way, a route through diplomacy. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Now, there are still lakhs of people who are stranded in Mariupol. They don't have access to basic supplies, food, water, relief material. You can see locals who flocked to a shopping center right from 7 a.m. in the morning. Geeta Mohan spoke to some of these people who are desperate for any communication, for any help.
This is the biggest humanitarian crisis that the people of Mariupol are facing. A sea of humanity, sea of people over here outside the metro shopping center, which has now become an aid and humanitarian assistance center. Long queues of people waiting from 7 a.m. in the morning just to get basic food supplies. This entire area now is under Russian control, and that's why it's the Russian and the Donetsk agencies that are working over here to supply food and humanitarian aid to the people of Mariupol. Mariupol has a majority of population that are either Russian speaking or of Russian origin, and that's the reason why when we spoke to people over here, many women in tears, because they do not know where to go and how to go, where to find safety, is the reason why they're staying in their homes. They come here early in the morning to collect their assistance, their basic supplies, and then return home to feel a little safer than what we hear. We're hearing music, Russian national songs, but this is all amid bombardment, shelling, and sounds of explosion. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Над головой. Разве можно такое терпеть? Я не оправдываю ни ту, ни другую сторону. Это воинские преступления. Ночью, нет голоса нет, ночью бомбить мирных людей. Это подлость. Самая настоящая. И ничем не оправдано. Продали страну без референдума. Мы виноваты. Нет. Я считаю, что это нужно отвечать. Не знаю, я уже ни ООН, ни Гааги, никому не верю. Все продано.
Okay, she don't believe Gaga, don't believe OON. She claims that all of people could be in the safe place if it will be organized well. There's enough safe places for people here, but still they were at home in the night when shelling comes. So first time her house was burned, they stopped the fire, but in the second time it burned fully.
And attacks continue unabated in Mariupol. While Geeta was reporting from the city, she also witnessed blasts very close to where she was and had to move from the location to immediately take shelter. Despite all of these non-stop assaults by Russia, many locals are continuing to stay back, saying they will defend their country, they will defend their city.
You, Mariupol, why? Kiev, Rus, why not?
Отойдите, отойдите, отойдите!
We had to take cover right now because the explosion was very close. Very, very close.
I'm from откуда? Откуда вы?
Huh?
Откуда? Ага.
India today, India.
Индия. Ого, откуда вас?
Okay, so Artyom over here actually asked us to take cover because now we see that the explosions are very, very close to this neighborhood. What is his opinion about?
Какое ваше мнение по поводу вот этой ситуации здесь, военной операции?
Это бред полный. Мы воюем против своих же братьев.
He said we're fighting against our brothers. It's very stupid, and he can't find the words for this.
Okay, and he intends to stay here, not leave?
То есть у вас намерение оставаться здесь, да?
Я буду уезжать в Киев. Лично я, да, родители будут уезжать в Россию.
His parents will leave to Russia and he'll leave to Kiev.
For Kiev, okay. Stay safe. Be good, Artyom. Stay safe. A city under siege. 2 days ago, President Zelensky admitted that there is no way to keep control of Mariupol. Today, Mariupol is maximum under Russian control. President Zelensky had wanted jets and tanks from the West, from NATO. But now, Russia put all its force to ensure that this critical city comes under their control. There were 4 lakh people when the entire operation from the Russian side began on the 24th of February, and now there are less than 1 lakh people. The state of affairs of people living, who continue to live in Mariupol, is absolutely in a very, very bad shape. Their life destroyed, and the city will take a long time to be rebuilt. With journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Unfortunately, the siege and the assault on Mariupol isn't going to end anytime soon. Russia has made that very, very clear by the fact that you have now the Chechen leader, Putin's very close ally, someone who's referred to as a warlord. He is now in Mariupol. We're talking about Ramzan Kadyrov. Now, you must have heard about him, especially because the world time and again has come out to condemn this man, saying that he is someone who's committed gross human rights violations in his own soil. Why has he now been deployed in Mariupol? That's how desperate Russia is to capture the sports city, knowing full well the significance of this kind of a city coming under their control.
Говорит наш командующий, самый лучший командующий.
Ramzan Kadyrov, the man who rules Chechnya with an iron fist, handpicked by Vladimir Putin for the top job. Someone who wrestles crocodiles with bare hands. Known as Putin's attack dog, Kadyrov has landed in the near-fallen city of Mariupol, where the dreaded Chechen fighters continue their deadly assault. The Chechen warlord is likely to finalize the strategy for his fighters in Mariupol. Kadyrov portrays a macho image of himself, frequently posing with guns and military garb. He has never shied away from flaunting his opulent wealth. A known tyrant who stops at nothing. The Chechen president has been accused of a wide array of human rights violation under his rule. Kadyrov has been accused of ordering torture and extrajudicial killings, along with a string of assassinations of Russian journalists and human rights activists. A number of his Chechen critics who sought asylum abroad were attacked or killed even on foreign soil. Kadyrov imposes regression through violence in Chechnya, where he ordered women to be shot at with paintballs for not observing the Islamic dress code, even urging men to block their wives from using WhatsApp. The Chechen leader also backs polygamy and in the past has ordered purges against homosexuals, going on to claim there is no homosexual person in Chechnya. Ramzan Kadyrov is one of Kremlin's deadliest weapons, and Putin has now decided to unleash Kadyrov on Ukraine. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the reason Russia has actually brought in Ramzan Kadyrov to a city like Mariupol is in response to Ukraine's all-out fight also for the city, and the fact that Ukraine now is depending on the Azov battalion, a battalion that's been referred to as a group of neo-Nazis, again accused of several war crimes. They're now in Mariupol fighting on behalf of Ukraine.
Battered, bruised, besieged. After relentless Russian bombardment and civilian deaths, Ukraine's second-largest city of Mariupol is on the edge, but still holding fort. Moscow has launched an all-out war to capture the city, which can act as the bridge between Donbass and Crimea, two regions that are already under Russian control. According to reports from the ground, Mariupol is mainly being defended by Ukraine's Azov battalion, a unit infamous for war crimes and torture tactics. This video was released by the Azov battalion last week. The footage appears to show tanks firing down a street in Mariupol. The Azov claims to have destroyed 3 Russian armored vehicles and 4 infantry fighting vehicles. Mariupol is also where the battalion has set up its headquarters. The Azov Special Operations Detachment is a right-wing neo-Nazi band of soldiers. A volunteer militia, the Azov was incorporated into the National Guard of Ukraine in November 2014 after recapturing Mariupol from pro-Russian separatists. Russian President Vladimir Putin has spoken of the presence of such units within the Ukrainian military to justify his war.
We simply don't have any other choice to protect our people, and we'll have to use the only available choice that we will use today. The circumstances require immediate, resolute action. The People's Republics of the Donbass have requested assistance from Russia. In this regard, in line with Article 51.7 of the UN Charter, with the authorization of the Parliament of Russia, and in exercising the Treaty on Friendship and Mutual Assistance with the Donetsk People's Republics and the Lugansk People's Republics, I've taken the decision to conduct a special military operation. Its purpose is to protect people who have been subject to abuse and genocide by the Kiev regime for 8 years. And to do this, we will strive to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine, and also bring to justice those who have committed numerous bloody crimes against civilians, including citizens of the Russian Federation.
Just a few days after the war started, the Ukrainian National Guard had shared a video of supposed Azov fighters allegedly dipping bullets in pig fat for use against Muslim Chechen fighters in Ukraine.